Welcome, old soul. You are the type of person who doesn't fit in with the people that are around you, not because you're not friendly, not because you can't do it, but you've chosen to be an individual in a world of people who want to conform and be just like everybody else. And I'm here to tell you that that's okay. That is normal for someone like you. We want to change the world. We understand that being an individual is something that is the most sacred thing. We were created um, by a higher power, given family, location, direction, physical attributes, mental attributes, and personality traits that make us unique. I think it's more unique. Our individuality is more unique than our fingerprint, than our DNA. They have technology that um, can tell who a person is, even if they change their face, have surgery by just the way they walk. So each person's individual walk is so unique to them that the computer can say that's XYZ just based on his walk. So if you have recognized that who we are is the only commodity that cannot be bought or purchased, even with AI, even with technology, even with voiceovers, there is something about the creative human spirit that is irreplaceable. And my goal and my purpose in life, as I see it, beyond being a father or a husband and taking care of my personal family, is to encourage you, to empower you to embody this idea, this ideal, this perspective. I don't like the fact that you guys are so low. To embody the perspective that I want you to be the most authentic, real um, version of yourself that's possible. I want you to just be yourself. And you may think to yourself, "Hey, that's easy. What's I mean, duh." But I personally have met that I've seen that most people, they have traits that you can identify. And you on the outside can say, "No, he's XYZ and she's this way." But they themselves don't even recognize to a certain extent how unique, how individual, how the perspective of who they are, how it shapes themselves, right? And they are operating on like half of what they're capable of. But to themselves, they're being themselves. But what I've learned, and what I'm sure you might have also learned, is that we're so much a product of our environment, of the what I call the three major powers, which is family environment, religious slash scientific view of the world, political view of the world, um, and the where you work, and all these different forces. And I would say work and school are in the same vein, and all these forces kind of combine to kind of shape us. And the goal of these institutions is to make us like everyone else. School wants you to write your essays in a certain way, do the math in a certain way, and to think in a certain way so it's quantifiable. The corporate world wants to put you into a box and say you do this so they can figure out how much money they can pay you, or how valuable you are within the commercial system. The religious slash scientific want to tell you that because the world was created in this way, you need to act in this way. And so all these different forces have shaped you to make you be like everyone else. And I've come to realize that, let's say you meet the most hippie, liberal person, they're going to have aspects of themselves that don't conform fully with liberalism. But they have to hide that part of themselves in order to hang out with their friends. And so, what I'm trying to get you to understand is that one of the biggest ills that we face is that because we're not ourselves, because we don't know what truly drives us, we are then become sheep that are swayed by the winds of change. And I don't know if that's the natural state of man. The natural state of man is to worship something and to have goals towards something, but it's not necessarily the natural state of man to not know who they are, to not be to be so fully influenced by everything else that they have no kind of inner purpose. So if you feel this lack in yourself, join me. Let's continue on this journey together to get to the bottom of this. I'm actively, actually, right now, working on a book that I think will provide some baby steps to get us, for some of us who start to feel this pressure that's being bared upon us from outside, to say, okay, how do I get myself from under this matrix, these three powers? How do I get out of that? And I'm one of those people who thinks small changes have a greater effect than any big change. A big change is splashy, you do it, and then a little while later you go back to where you were because it's so fantastical you can't maintain it. It's like a fad diet where I'm going to restrict all meat and then you just stop. And then, what happens is you find that, you can get these vegan foods that have the same amount of calories. It doesn't matter. There's all these ways around. But if you start saying, hey, I'm going to be very careful about the things that I eat, I'm going to count calories and I'm going to see if whatever I eat, how does it affect my body? I'm going to literally eat it, keep track of it, and see what effect it has on me. Forget about calories, forget about weight loss. Do I feel good after I eat it, or do I feel bad? Am I tired? If you do that small step, guess what happens? You're going to lose weight anyway because you're restricting your diet and you're eating things that adapt to your own physical body. Even in that, we're individuals, right? What do you say when you go to a doctor? Well, normal recovery time is 1 week to 2 weeks. What? That's a big gap. Because some people recover quicker. Some people don't follow the doctor's advice, re-injure themselves, and have to go on a longer period. Like for me, I get tattoos. For some reason, mine always gets scratched off. It fades because the position on my body that I place it and how I sleep will affect that. So what I'm trying to say is I am going to pound the pavement. I'm going to do video after video after video to express how important it is that you find out who you really are. There is nothing more important beyond sleep, food, and being outside of physical danger than finding this out. It should color your choices and whether you follow a political party or you don't follow a political party. It should be what guides whether you eat or don't eat. It should be what decides where you live and what you teach your children. And if you're being guided by anything else as the master guide, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And I'm going to get some pushback from the religious crowd, but how can you confess to something that you don't know who you are? How are you going to tell other people that the world was created in a big bang if you don't know who you are? How do you truly know that you believe the things that you believe if you never ever question them, right? An unexamined life is one that's really not lived. So I'm fighting, and I'm going back, it's an old idea that you need to examine yourself and see where you are. You need to know where you stand so you can go forward. If you feel stalled, if you feel like you're not achieving the things that you want to do, you don't even know what you want to do. You're just like a leaf in the wind being blown. And I think that you are meant for something greater. And before you start saying, well, everyone says that I'm not saying it in a mystical woo-woo sense. What you want and what I want are different. Identify what you want, and that lane is open. There's no other person competing with you to get to where you want to go. What do I mean? Real quick, because it's already 10 minutes already. Let's say we both want to be a musician, but I want to be the best reggae artist that deals with culture and talks about this thing, and I want to do a fast beat, and I want to do it like once I start identifying where I am in that music genre, I'm not competing against every musician that ever lived. I'm not competing against every reggae artist. I'm trying to make my own lane in that thing. If I want to be an artist who, like, I've seen wacky artists that only make art about garbage. That's you. If you want to do YouTube videos that only focus on the individual freedom and how we express ourselves, that's my lane. No one else is in this lane. And if they are, they're welcome to it. I'm not competing against every single person that does YouTube. I'm talking about what I'm passionate about and what I think about and what affects me personally. And if you guys want to join me on that journey, amen, welcome. You want to comment on that? Help, welcome. You want to subscribe to that? Welcome. If you don't, I'll be talking to the wind, but I'm going to be me in that process. So you need to start thinking about what you want and the specificity with which your specific makeup is, and then pursue it. And you're going to find out that then most of the things that are holding you back are gone. People's opinions, that shit don't matter. Is it going to be succeed? It doesn't matter about the success. It's the action, because I want to do it, because that's what makes me happy. So if I never achieve that goal of being the number one reggae artist in that genre, I still enjoy the ride. And victory and success becomes redefined to what you think it is. So I'm hoping that there is a large group of people who either don't know who they are, who know who they are but don't know how to express themselves in these three spheres: the religious, the home context, and larger society. And they want to say, hey, I'm tired of hiding who I am. Those are the two groups: those who don't know who they are and those who know who they are, but they feel like they are marginalized. And so when I say old soul, I mean you adhere to this old idea. You have some spiritualness to yourself. You have awakened to the fact that there's something wrong with the way society has kind of made us all into NPCs, into slaves that don't seem to think for themselves. So I want you to think for yourself, even if it's to disagree with me. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm asking you to change how you think so that you can be such a force in this world that together we can change it. Because I'm not here to complain about how the world is. I'm here to change the world, to tweak it so it's better without saying tear it all down. I'm okay with a lot of things, but I'm not okay with how people seem to be stifled. It's sad to me. It is very, very depressing. Join me. Watch some more of these videos. Let me know if you are vibing with what I'm saying. I'm going to do it anyway, because this is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. And I want people to recognize this thing, because I feel it is a stepping stone to so much more. Holla at me. Keep it going. And grow with me as I grow. I would love to have you.